Alright, just got to work and I decided before we start this vlog, I'll introduce you to the office girls, and down in the office where all the magic happens. We got Danny doing all the behind the scenes, and we've got Beck, which I haven't shown you yet. She gets it all done in the background. So I'll show you guys now, introduce you to the girls real quick. Alright. VL Vloggers part 2. Don't care, I think it's 3 of the PSI 30, the ultimate Calais first JDM beast. So last video, if you didn't watch it, go watch it and make sure you like this video and subscribe, because you have to. Jump on our website, grab some Kang merch. The last video we did all the front end, all aesthetic things. We put some Saxy JDM wheels, some genuine SSRs, some Shockworks suspension, some goodies. The video before that, put a built short and diff in there, and yes, and the tail lights of course. We did it all, and now this time it's time for some power fangs with Corey Stavens. So in between, we've done a few little mods that we didn't finish off in the last video. One being a tailpipe and a Saxy 4-inch dump, a muffler delete, but yeah, it's all about the 4-inch tailpipe and some nasty MIG welds. And of course the screamer pipe, because you have to. Had a nice jagged boy before with a shitty slip joint because it was plumbed in. Oh, look at that straight boy, straight to the ground. So we're yet to test that out, but we will. We only gave you a little teaser last time, but this time we're gonna head to the dyno. We're gonna do a couple of power mods, which I'll go through now. And we've got a drag set up, a spicy wheel combo, which you may have already seen a little bit of, but we've got the matching pair and the drag tires to go on. Ready for some roll drag racing and, you know, some other fun stuff, some skids. What's saying? Anyway, let's get into it. So to go through the modifications she's already got and what we're going to upgrade, let's give you a quick rundown on this beast. Yes, I need to get rid of that shat orange. They've sprayed everything orange. Whoever did this, apparently this motor's been built a couple of times. The car did come from South Australia, so you don't know what they're doing over there. Apparently workshop THR. There's some hectic receipts worth that came with this car. Pages for days. So spent money on everything, and then for some reason gone 600cc injectors, and probably only making like, I don't know, it felt like 270, 300 kilowatt on 14 PSI, which is probably a lot, but we're gonna see what she can do, max her out. So the motor, it has forged J pistons. It's got the A8 turbo block with H-beam rods. It's got bearings, race bearings, and ARP studs, MLS head gasket of some sort. Don't know any compression or anything like that. We haven't tested it either, have we? Haven't even done that. It's probably worth doing.
I think we did.
We did?
Oh, okay.
We'll test it again in this video. We've got the Garrett GTX 3582R or something like that. Didn't get the exact rear housing.
It doesn't have a number on it.
Don't have no numbers. Has little numbers there, but I don't know, has some sort of codes. Either way, it looks like a 1.06, same as the Barrel Wagoon. Teaser, oof. Yeah, it looks similar to that. That's a 1.06. 6 boost manifold. The teal 50mm gate, now screaming. Ebbed the plumb back they had. We've done the fresh Corey piping, some MSD ignition thing. It's got an Autronic ECU. See if you can see that little weird box. Never heard of Autronic before, but this has one. So I think it's probably pretty OG, but should do the job. There she is right there. Autronic looks like it uses like the Nissan style plug OBD to plug into it, sort of like a NIS tune. But whoever's done the wiring on this has done a nice job, labelled everything nicely, all neat like. What else we got, Corey?
We're gonna get rid of that.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of this elbow. It's the only thing that we didn't finish on the on the piping, but yeah, it's a nice PWR cooler. See under there, hiding under there. It did have a JPC manifold apparently. Someone's stolen it and put it on one of these Otaku garage. Otaku. Otaku manifold. These are known to split along the worlds and stuff, so that'll be fun on the dyno. Malpassy reg, you have to. VL builds for some reason. OG things.
What?
Yeah, Malpassy regs is like, I don't know, apparently something they all use back in the day.
It's just because of the chrome boards.
Yeah.
We'll have to polish that up again.
Anyway, it's got the 3-speed or 4-speed Jacko VL turbo box built and manualised, and yes, we put the 31 spline billet axle, full spool, 345 shortened Borg Warner VL turbo diff in there, ready to launch. Ready to snap. So mods we are going to do, there's of course those injectors. So we've got some 1650s, and it does have an old Bosch 044 pump, but we picked up a new one. Apparently they're phasing out the old 044 and they've got these new Bosch 0444. 444. It's the same name. But yeah, apparently they got 20% more flow and they're quieter. So maybe we can even do a little show them how quiet it is to show them how quieter it is. The old 044 is the loudest Falcon, so it'll be interesting to see if that's much quieter. There's flow tested. Oh, there's your flow chart right there, the 4-cylinder. Yeah, 6 of them, the 1650s. Anyway, so we've got the Black Racing BR8s that we had in original videos. So we've got them back on with the Zestinos, 195 55s, and oof, we've got some rears ordered. So we had the stockies on originally, and we figured out the sizes. We thought they were they were 15 by 8 0. They turned out to be 15 by 8. What were they?
-5.
That's right, -5. So we went a 15 by 8 0, and hopefully we have some clearance because it was just hitting. It's very tight. These are the biggest tires you can fit. It's 255 65, are they?
As long as you
255 60.
As long as
15.
you take away the seat
Yeah,
bolt.
the seat bolt, and I think it just misses here. Sometimes people notch that out and reinforce, but I reckon we'll have just enough clearance on everything, and we've lipped our guards the tiniest bit and cut the bumper for the bulginess. Bang her on there, son. Ooh. Long drags. That axle. And stupid Ford thread. Ooh. Brand new things. Feel that stacker off. Ooh.
Some ASMR for your ass.
Drop the dog. Oh, how's the clearance?
I've got to fucking just fit my finger between it.
Get your finger in there. Alright, let's get on the ground, see how hot she looks before we get into these performance molds. Oh, he's teasing me. I lined it up with perfection. Also got rid of the old jank Falcon. And we've got this Saxy
Don't touch it.
can install. And cleaned up the dose part of Saxy for his polishing. Can polish the knobbers. Oof. Got heaps of clearance.
Still in neutral, roll away through.
That's perfect. Fanger gaps. I'm just gotta check. Remember this side, I think the control arm was closer. But one of them was closer. Is it touchy?
No.
No?
It's like
Is it a roll?
half a finger.
Jump on the dog. I want to see the squat. I want to see it squatting off the line. Oof. Oof. Ooh. Okay, Clarence. That looks hot. Looks so hot.
What's this one like? Oh yeah, this is a bit tighter, so the diff could probably go that way a bit.
Yeah, okay. Because this guard, it seems bigger on this side.
Yeah, it's weird.
And the front, Just it's free.
Actually, no.
It settles a bit.
Yeah, the diff needs to come this way.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense for the guards. The front just sits nice. Skinny boys. Drag setup. Oof. Do rate. Something about the drag setup. No wonder everyone does it and doesn't drag their car. Just put the fat tyre. Alright, back to Corey's moulds.
Update. Got all the rocker cover painted. Come up, look at it. We did the same colour as the 33 one. Joe seems to like the gunmetal grey colour now. So yeah, underneath it all looks pretty clean and healthy. So that's good. The what are they? 1650 injectors. They're all in. It's now time to work on deleting that sharp silicon bend. So we've got a donut here just to get a real tight radius, and then a 3 to 4 inch. I'll have to weld some straight on, clamp it on there and turn it up. But yeah, I'll get this rocker cover on and continue working on that. All right, quick update. Rocker cover is on and it looks actual. As you can see, all pipes off. I have just finished doing this. Obviously cut that donut up. Just need to put it on, but it's hot. Obviously cut up the donut to suit the angle that I wanted, and it kind of worked out perfectly. I just cut it in half, put it together, so it just made a 180, and then the piece that I cut off this to get the angle worked perfectly there to make that work. Obviously 3 to 4 inch reducer. I'll just have to put a couple little things around here so it clamps on nice. See right there, it's nice and tight, it's got plenty of room to that. I do have to pull the fan shroud off to get it in though, in one piece, because of the 4 inch, but that's alright. Get that in, and then I have to do the pump. Yes, I have to do the pump. We got this. It's a, so it's just a standard LS1 alternator, but fitting kit. Where is that? Where'd he get it? Clockwork Customs apparently. So, bloke who's tuning this, he said we have to upgrade the alternator. Now, it looks like a pretty fresh thing, and we're trying to figure out what it is. Turns out it is an upgraded one, but it's still only what is it? It's only 85 amp, and old mate recommended 140 amp. So I think the only way, there's no RB alternators apparently, but the bloke recommended to get this kit. So I think it's something to do with, because we got the electric thermo fan and stuff. Obviously, it all needs a certain amount of power to run properly. Might have something to do, might start breaking down or something, I'm not too sure. We'll pull this old junk out and put it in. Also got full pipe just about finished off. Got to weld a new little fitting into it, because old core piping. Yeah, I don't want to try and cut that out of there, especially like it's just a pain in the ass. So I'll just drill a hole and put a new one in. I might put this one in a better spot, a bit easy to access. It sort of sits in like that. Depending where the battery is, I'll either jam it there, or I don't know, maybe on the back side there or something. Just a temp sensor. But for now, we'll get into putting the alternator on and go from there. Got the alternator all in. Had to extend the wires for the plug, because this car has had a full engine bay loom done, and obviously with the old one it had this little adapter thing on it. The new one sort of just went in about where that sticker is on the car, and yeah, the plug was definitely too short, so just extended it. Cooler pipe in, welded the air temp sensor bung in. Just got to chuck that fan back on, and then got the battery on charge because that's been dying. We've got to figure out why. Not sure, something's obviously staying on, so in the meantime I think I might just put like a little isolator on the positive terminal just so we can shut it off, because it just sits around for, you know, weeks on end before it gets driven. Once I get all that in, we can we'll turn it on and see the noise level of the old 044. I'll put the new one in and see if it quietens it down, see if they're not lying. Alright, bit of a ghetto setup, the battery's still on charge, but it works. We'll have a listen at the sound and see if the new one's quieter or not. So it's not too bad, but you wouldn't hear it over at idling. Now that we've gotten rid of that rear muffler, it is sounds a lot better. I don't know. Alright, the fuel pump's all installed, so let's see if it's quieter. Apparently it is. No idea. We can probably start this thing up. Alright, we're all done. We've got a fuel pressure gauge as well. Chuck that in. Thanks to the person that put this in for rounding the bolt. I had to drill it out and easy at it, which was not fun. Also, sanded. Ooh, look at that. Sanded the paint off the Holden just to make it stand out, look a bit nice. And happy with that. Come up real nice. There's a bit of polish still in there, but don't care. Pretty much ready for the dyno. We'll go down the list. Done it all except for the gate. It doesn't run though, so we'll do that once it's tuned. See how she sounds with a bit of boost through it on gate. But yeah, we done.
There you are. Whoa. Fast as fuck. Nice. Alright, Marcus and I, Dada's day out. So we've caught up to where Corey's at. He's got the VL on the trailer, so we just loaded it up to take it down to Dyno's for a tune. Isn't that right, Marcus?
Yeah.
And then what? We're gonna make some power?
Yeah.
Sure are. Is this your favourite car?
Yeah.
Your favourite vlog?
Yeah.
Or the wagon?
The wagon.
The wagon!
Yeah.
Jesse will be happy about that. Alright, let's get her down. Change the wheels over. Because these are some dyno wheels. I think he's got a roller dyno, not hub dyno. Just the wheels with the best clearance basically. Got some shat tyres. Ready to go. Got the cable and all that sorted. So we figured out the ECU takes very weird old school cables. So we got that one there, and it goes to a bloody cables everywhere. Where is it? Where's the end of it? Oh yeah, sorry. So the USB obviously N, adapted from old school computer, and the plug in the ECU is a headphone jack. A bloody 3.5mm headphone jack. Now that's old school. Obviously with the big injectors, it's rich AF. I was surprised that the ECU had updates and actually had the 1650s in there, so you could type them in, but still no luck getting it to run right. So hopefully when we get there, he knows what he's doing, and we can do some playing and get it running so we can drive it off instead of push the thing off. Anyway, while I got you, I'll give you a little bit of a plug. New stackers. That one's upside down. What is that? That would be our new stackers. So you got that one, you got our true. And then what's this one say?
I don't know.
Says don't care.
Yeah.
You wanna say that?
Don't care.
Ripper. So yes, these are on the website, 15 each or 25 for both at the moment. Head to keepreet.com, get around it. And if you want, you can become a member. We've still got some nice Gary stickers left. So if you do become a YouTube member, I think it's $3 a month or something, we will send you out a nice Gary sticker. We've got about 20 nice Gary stickers left. So to get rid of those last few, the next 20 members that sign up, get yourself a stacker, laminate a dash, and then these, we've got a big run of them. So get around it, support the channel, because this content ain't cheap, son. It ain't cheap. But yes, I appreciate all your support. Let's get down to this tune. I reckon my productions, put your comment down below what you think this thing will make. Build engine and all that, remember, but we are only going 98 with the Bosch 44 pump and 1650 injectors. I reckon either the Garrett GTX 3582 will run out boost, but probably not. Most likely the fuel pump, I reckon, will be the restriction. It's got everything ready to blaze it, so I'm gonna say 350. Apparently his dyno reads low. Whatever, we'll see. Even if it runs less, I reckon it's gonna be absolutely mental on the street, which is the idea for this car, just to be a fun cruiser, street car. Don't want to get in too many hairy situations if it had over 400 kilowatt, but who knows. We'll probably end up upgrading to 500 kilowatt. Anyway, let's get down there. Enough rambling. Let's get on to it. So we got the car all loaded up here at Dyno's. Ben's currently in the car. As you can hear, she's running all nice now. It started, yeah, pissing down. Had to figure out how to connect that old school ECU. And yeah, then we all sat in the car while it was raining. Now he's just refining it a bit. Apparently it was pretty ghetto, the old tune that had on it. So he's just trying to clean it up to a base spec, then we'll leave the car with him and let him do his magic and see what happens. Damn, sounds nice. Fingers crossed, some good numbers. It's only on 98, so he reckons around 300-ish, but his dyno reads low. We'll see what happens, Alright, I'm back down here at Dyno's and a little update. He's had a few issues with the auto changing into fourth, like skipping third or something. Goes on to that. The alternator wasn't charging, something we couldn't test because we didn't have it running right. And the injectors are too big for 98, so we can't get it to idle properly. It's just running rich as hell down low. So what do? We got some jerry cans of E85 and we're sending it. It's the only way to make bulk power. Just about to drain it out and drain all that 98 out and swap it over E85 and leave it with him and hopefully hear back with some good results. Alright, so I'm on the last little bit of 98. I've pretty much put in, when it started to sputter a bit, just put the last little 10 litres with E85 to make sure we get the last final mix out. So you know, I got the line running, they're already full. Got one left. Hardwire the fuel pump relay. That's a target. Right there. Pretty clear. Almost there, Sonny. Alright, all done. All swapped over the E85. Ready to go. It's probably the B's dick of 98 in it, but it should be right. He'll make allowance for it in the tune. I did speak to him and it was a no deal on the camera. A little bit camera shy, he didn't want to say it, but he's a top bloke, so I'm gonna leave the car with him and hopefully we'll come back when the thing's on the dyno on a song. Alright, so back at the shop, we had some dramies. So he asked us to come pick up the car and sort him out because he just keeps running into dramas. It's bloody typical, but we're getting there. He ended up having, first of all, obviously the E85 swap, the injectors were wrong, too big for 98. Then,
Just running rich down low, isn't it?
yeah, something like that. Then he had the alternator wasn't charging, so he fixed that up with a ghetto light. So now he wants us to fix that properly, so make sure the globe in the dash and it's all connected so alternator can work properly. The lift pump, he said, might be playing up. It's pretty common for him to play up. So check that and check the tank's not nasty because he was losing fuel pressure on the 14 psi. Mind you, it was making 270 on his dyno, he reckons, using second gear. To my next problem, the auto shifting from second to fourth, so going in the overdrive. Someone's done some ghetto shit. They've cut all the factory loom and the overdrive wires off, making it skip third gear. We need third gear for dyno pulls and everything.
It doesn't skip it, does it? It goes into third.
No, I think it
wants to go in.
No, it's actually skipping
really?
it. Yeah, which I did notice when I drove this here. Yes, we have to check voltage to the fuel pumps. We got a new Pierberg or something in-tank pump, which is E85 rated 2. Corey got the tank. Check the tank and she's schmicky.
Yes.
Yeah, schmicky.
Clean.
She clean. Stupid headlights keep popping up and not going back down. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't even lift it. It's too heavy. Are they new struts?
No, they're not.
Oh, they're sharp struts. No, we need to do those struts. Oof, it's looking so much better with all that orange be gone. So what else? I don't know. The brake booster was had like a vac leak or something, and we figured out that what that was. He was also pushing out auto fluid. He had to cable tie the dipstick down. If you can see it there.
Which we have
figured out. We traced the breather up, and when we deleted the charcoal canister bloody vacuum box that Corey blew up, we ended up teeing in the breather into vacuum line, and that would be the problem. Boost fed auto, not ideal. So that's why the brakes and everything were feeling all funky. I'm hoping that's why the brakes were funky, but that's definitely why we were pushing out trans fluid. He wants an idle control valve, which we might not bother with yet because it's a bit of a pain. But we'll definitely figure out the auto going into third. Oh! And they got the fuel pump sorted, and we'll check voltage. Put a relay in there if we need to. There's the shadow pump, which we found wasn't really working. Is that right?
No, yeah. No.
Hardly doing anything.
No, when I plugged it into the jumper pack, it was just like...
Well, there you go. A couple of things. We'll get it back. Hopefully have the car tuned ready for the VL's first proper outing.
Bit of an update on the VL. So, did the in-tank pump. Still got the same 044, fresh fuel filter. Had the car running yesterday. Finally got that that battery light working, so it's charging properly now. Tested the power at the pumps, and while it was idling, it was getting 13.5 volts. So I might get Jesse just to hold the revs up a bit higher and see if it sits higher than that while it's running normally, just to make sure. Because if it's getting a voltage drop, I'll have to do a relay setup for that pump so it's getting proper power. But now I'm working on this overdrive issue. So I've got the solenoid from out there. I've just been testing it with the jumper pack, figured out how it works, and now I'll put a plug on the end of this and then figure out how the hell the power button or overdrive switch, I think that's all it's actually all it does is an overdrive switch, especially because it's a manualized auto. Figure out where the power goes from that, and I'll just tee it in and make it work, because all we need is just the overdrive just to not engage, because when it was on the dyno, it's going straight into fourth, which is apparently really weak. They have to dyno it in third, so yeah, it's not allowing it to do that, but we'll see how that goes. All right, another update. We've I've got the shifter sorted, well, not the shifter, the auto sorted, yet to test it on the road, just to make sure it is working. I can hear the solenoid engaging and everything. So what I ended up having to do, so we were told about wires in these, so that's the auto harness that would normally run down. to like the kick down, the overdrive solenoid, the torque converter lockup and all that stuff. But being a manualized auto, it doesn't have any of that. So they've cut everything off, but the problem is it's still going into overdrive. So these are a 3-speed with a 4th gear, which is the overdrive. So I was fiddling around with these, couldn't seem to make it work. I'm assuming the whole plug has to be connected. We couldn't just tee into the wires. So what I've ended up doing, so Jace can, so everything's still functional like factory, I've gone and so I've cut out the original power feed to the button on the shifter. So when it's out, when you can see the writing, which is power, all it does is just locks out the overdrive gear. So what I've done, it's just an earth switch. So basically just ran an earth through to a relay setup and just got ignition power from the original wire. So the ignition power comes from the original power to the solenoid. Got it all ran round, so you can't see it, down to a relay, then runs down to the solenoid underneath. And then I was trying to think, how the hell am I gonna get, so it's like very much like factory. There's a little power button that comes up here when this is out. And I was thinking, because it's just an earth switch, and I put that into there, with the power button. So pop that connector out and put them both together. And then it is time to test it on the street and make sure it doesn't go into the overdrive.
Oh, Kang moustache. Movember. Alright, so Corey's done his thing because we're going to test her out. And of course it's bloody raining every time we take this thing out.
See, luckily it's got like bolts that hang down heaps, so that hits first.
There's the bolt.
Now it worked on the hoist, but it also wouldn't go into overdrive unless it's over, I think, like 60 or 70.
VL Turbo tune time. True. Back to Dyno's. Corey done everything. Ready to make some powers. Fingers crossed. And then we got Supernats this weekend. So we're pushing it tight as usual. But yeah, hoping this thing absolutely blazes it. I did speak to Ben at his shop and he said he's not too fond about too much filming in there. So we'll see how he goes. I'll have a chat to him. I'll see if we'll at least get a few power runs and final figures and whatnot, and we'll go through it a little bit. But yeah, he's a little bit camera shy. He doesn't like his workshop being filmed, which is fair enough. Got to make sure, you know, you got to respect everyone. Got to respect. So yes. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get the car done. Still need to do some sort of alignment and whatnot before this weekend's event, but that'll be a separate video. So tune in next time for that one. And yes, let's go make some powers, boy. So we've got some updates for you. We've got one dyno run in there, which is it's pretty much a final run. It's the best that the car could do. Like I said, he didn't want to be in too many videos and all that. He let me film it, so thanks for letting me film the power run. We had a lot of back and forward. Ended up having fuel pressure and fuel pump issues. It wasn't really the pump, it was a new 04 in there. He's never had them before, so we wanted to try out one of the old, genuine 044, so we got a new one, slapped it in there. We were losing voltage when it got hot, the wires would got hot, losing voltage, so Corey came down, ran a proper relay, nice thick wires from the battery to the back. That fixed that, but still we couldn't get the fueling right. But we still ended up with some good figures. Here's that last run. 324, 430 HPs at 20 PSI. Holds it very steady. I'm pretty surprised with that. It's an old TL 44mm gate. He said we ran it on lower boost, 14 PSI. It would still creep up from 14 to eventually 20 right at the end. You can see our fueling here. In between these lines is what you want. Somewhere in the middle, a bit richer down the bottom, and he will creep it up, and I was hating life. I did get a video of the fuel pressure. I'll see if I can throw it in, if I remember to give it Tom Sharpen. But it was pretty much good, 60 PSI to 70 PSI-ish, and then it will just drop up top to like 50 PSI fuel pressure, and that's not safe. He wasn't very happy. As you can see, she comes on hard. That 3582 comes on strong, and yeah, she just keeps climbing. So he did say that motor loves life. It's got some big cams in it, he reckons. And once we sort out this fueling, we're not going to have any issues. He said most cars with an 044, they can push, like a safely 330. For some reason, I don't know, it could be like line sizes, something like that. Don't know. All I know is I got to fix it, get an undercar surge tank, twin pumps, and some nice big line, similar to what we've done to the 33, and then we won't have any issues and we can shoot it to the moon. But yes, we've got Supernats this weekend, so he has cut it back down, boost to 14 PSI, and cut my limiter back, because I think he knows that I will be sending it, and we'll probably have another dead RB, so we don't want that, because these RB30s, especially good ones that are built, they're getting rare, son. They're all getting rare, probably because of me. Anyway, I'm going to load her up, and then we'll finish her up there. Thanks to Ben Dyno Performance. He's very thorough, can say that. Does know his RB30s and VLs and all that sort of stuff, so this is why I took it to him, because we refined all these bugs. One final thing to do. But yes, send it, son. Well, that's it. All done. We got somewhere. We now know that we can thrash the car to some degree. But yes, we've ironed out all the little things from previous owners. Next video will be at Supernats. If you like this, I know you've been waiting for a VL video for a while, so make sure you like and subscribe to get around it. And we'll be back in no time with the Supernats video. And hopefully she's still in one piece. See you next time. What does that one say?
Shut your